This painting here is mainly based on everything I love, and I learning on all my influences in the contemporary art. I remember when I was younger, I fell in love with the painting of a Chilean, very well-known artist from Chile, who used to visit Cuba, and I was very impressed by his work, Roberto Mata. But then I went from that kind of Latin American surrealism, non-figuration, and I was very lucky when I was in the 80s working in the Silk Screen Printing Studio in Havana. We meet the the American artist Robert Rauschenberg, and remind me the way that Rauschenberg see material, superposition of materials, and uses the textures and color. And for Rothko, I used to have these books somebody gave me Raul Martinez gave me for my birthday, a book of all the American abstract artists, for Rothko to de Kooning, and I was in love, and everything I knew about contemporary art was in that book. And this is all my memories growing up with the abstract American artists. But then we follow Richter, the German artist, who now is very, very enormous. But when you go back to see his work, in the contemporary artists have got overlapping different techniques who are very, very important for painters. We are paintings about painting. The dialogue with the shape and the materials. And then I have this painting, but for me it's more like the Cuban artist who was friend of Picasso, one of our most famous artists, Wilfredo Lam, mix of Afro Cuban and Chinese. His mother was an African lady, and his father was a Chinese. And he had this kind of mixture, and Picasso was fascinated with Wilfredo Lam. And during the friendship of Wilfredo Lam with Picasso, the Museum of Arte Modern in New York, the MoMA, used to go to Picasso to buy some art, and I saw Lam, Wilfredo painting, and then for that connection, they acquired a painting called the Jungla, who was painting in wrapping paper, like a cartoon paper, and was painting with watercolor, and it's painting with charcoal. It's beautiful, beautiful, and I was in love with that picture. But the more I look at that picture, it reminds me of that kind of Jungla composition. Even it's more, people will say it's a very contemporary with the German Richter. Richter did not invent that technique. He just used a larger squeegee or a larger palette knife. But it's like going back to those memories who I grew up with. And the more I look at the picture, really I see like a Wilfredo Lam, and different, of course, it's more contemporary idea. I don't know about really contemporary, because it's, in general, those techniques, they are not belong to anybody in specific. Many people who, like a Welsh artist, working with palette knife, and it's the way you apply the material. I really love it, and it's very pity that it's going to go to a private collection. In one way I'm very happy, in another way I'm a little bit sorry that it's going to go from here. The title of the silent pond, because we agreed and look like a pond, but the most I look in my head do remind me the painting of Wilfredo Lam, the Jungla. Very famous painting who I really love. That's what it's all about. Thank you.
Las criaturas llegan en la noche, Porfirio, abriendo los ojos con desmesura. No, son de la noche pertenecen a ella, pero adoran la luz. De día se las puede llegar a encontrar durmiendo en algún rincón de cualquier calle. Su aire de bestia doméstica inofensiva las hace permanecer inadvertidas. Por la noche cuando despiertan se levantan y con pasos cortos se echan a andar, buscando las calles desiertas, las criaturas. De día se las puede llegar a encontrar echadas durmiendo en algún rincón de cualquier calle. Su aire de bestia doméstica inofensiva las hace permanecer inadvertidas. Su aire de bestia doméstica inofensiva las hace permanecer inadvertidas, las criaturas. Y por la noche cuando despiertan se levantan y con paso corto echan a andar buscando las calles del cielo.